Welcome back to the Drive Time podcast. This is our gear change episode. I'm joined again by Max Cavazzini from AWS. Welcome back, Max.
Thank you.
So this is the episode where we start to do a bit more of that myth busting of how do we, because we're all, juggling with technology all the time. And what we want to try and do is make tech a bit more accessible. So how can we take the myths that people might have that gets in the way of us using technology more. So in terms of data, we talked a lot about this in the main episode, having a data strategy. What are the biggest myths that you think people get stuck with when it comes to data and managing data? What gets in the way?
We mentioned silos,
yes,
right? So again, I think partially it's culture, because everyone feels I should own the data. And even within departments of the same company, those are my data. Now, I think this is one of the main blockers, right? Because if you put your data at work, they are useful also for other departments. I mean, think about what it's called software in the loop or hardware in the loop, but the ability to collect data when something is happening and to feed back to other departments, they will do a better job, right? So put data at work and don't be afraid to share. The second one, it's the ability to have data in one place, not a physical place, but a logical place. Because sometimes, again, we tend to have data that are scattered around different systems, put them in one place, which doesn't mean a system. One system means one place, logical layer, where every system can access the data, provide the data back. And the third one, to me, it's make sure you collect the right data in the right moment, right? It's sometimes, I need data, and this anxiety and you put everything and you don't use them, which in the end, it's also cost, right? So make sure you collect the right data. So this is something you can achieve when you start with your business issue, right? What are you trying to achieve? And then you work backwards, which data will allow you to achieve, instead of collecting everything and then, we'll see. No.
We have this crazy, I remember years ago, we used to do a dealer management survey or satisfaction surveys. And the manufacturers would set these standards where they would make retailers just collect an email address. So you walk in, you're having a nice conversation with me, and I suddenly want your email address because the manufacturer is making that part of my standards. And you go, that doesn't feel natural. You just walked in. You want to build a relationship with the customer first, rather than going, so what's your phone number? I've just met you. I don't want your phone number. Literally, back up. So I think those are three really good points. So unsilo yourself. Sales, and I remember sitting in years ago, went to get my car serviced, and I'd moved from the address where I used to live to where I now live. And even though it was the same distance, because it wasn't in the postcode where they used to drop you home, they wouldn't drop me home. I was like, I'm stuck, literally in the dealership. And there was a sales department walking around, twiddling their thumbs with lots of empty cars. They could have let me test drive one of those home and driven it back themselves. There are little things where you think, to delight me as a customer, it would have been great if you'd said, hey, test drive this latest thing. We know who you are. We've got your car here. I would have got home safely. I had to phone a friend to bring me and take me home. It was crazy. So I think those are little areas where unsilo the experience. So I'm your customer, whether I'm sales or after sales, I'm your customer. Look after me, because my experience in after sales will mean I want to buy from you again, not I feel like you resented giving me a lift home. So, and I love that, having your data in one place. So make sure that you haven't got it lots of different places, but you have it accessible in one place so you can start to. We know that there are lots of systems in retailers, but what we're trying to do is automate that they all update. When my phone number does change, then it updates everywhere else. Or if I've moved house, it updates everywhere else. So that's a really good point. So for you then, Max, I know you travel a lot. I'm not sure whether this is going to be related, but are there any tech tools that you can't live without in your daily life?
Actually, I don't know how much you would define a tech tool. So I use a lot Alexa to, I would say, make my life easier. So Alexa, can you add this to my shopping list? Can you play some music? Can you remind? And I think many of us are doing that. Of course, the mobile phone. But then during the weekends, I think my pizza oven, which I don't know how much tech you would consider a pizza oven, it's key because I like to cook and I like to do my homemade pizza.
Nice.
And nicely enough, I think a couple of months ago, we had a team meeting where I cooked pizza for every team member.
Excellent.
It was super fun. Which, again, I don't know how much would you consider.
Is it wood-fired? Do you actually have to?
No, it's
or is it one of those
electric,
little-
so I can use it at home.
Nice.
Wood, it's different because it's difficult to keep the temperature.
Yeah.
And again, my oven has even IoT device, and this is why I consider it tech, right? And I mean, we are surrounded by connected objects. I think one thing that I really use a lot, it's having all the data, as we were saying, in one place and controlling from one app the entire ecosystem of connected objects. This is making my life much easier.
You hear about Internet of Things, and actually now and the kids think it's brilliant. So I've connected my smart plugs and I've named them all, so I can tell Alexa to turn on the garden lights. And they go, oh, and they go, oh, can I do that? They try and they turn on my garden lights, and it's set to go off at 11. Otherwise, the kids would leave them on all night. So it's so that's our little. So I do actually the smart plug thing connected to the device is really clever.
Finally, Star Trek is reality, right?
I know. It's like, boop, boop, beam me up. I love it. It's really good.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, not long. I'm sure that scares the whatever out of me. So thinking about any kind of big innovation that you can think of that in the next 5 years that really excites you. What can you see that's coming that you think, oh, it's going to be so cool? Not beam me up, but
For the industry, to me, it's autonomous driving and
Right.
robotaxis. Again, if I think, why would I spend 2 hours, 3 hours in the traffic and going? I will jump in, relax, do my own stuff, and wake up somewhere in a different place. This is something I'm really looking for.
Have you used one?
Yeah, I mean, when in US, yes. It's fascinating because it's like you are shaking up. It's like owning an electric vehicle, likely the first weeks. Oh, do we have enough charge? Do we have
Yeah.
enough battery? And then it becomes normal, right? I think the robotaxi will be the same, right?
Yeah.
Now it's you jump in, there is no driver, and you are nervous, but then you become used to it, and that's it. This is one of the innovation. The other innovation I think, which is more about using the vehicle, I do expect not to worry about what's happening within the vehicle and maintenance and doing the stuff and waiting maybe weeks for getting a part that I need to replace. So life much easier thanks to the technology.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I think if you know something's going to break before it breaks, my dishwasher broke at the weekend. Nightmare. So we call it percussive engineering. I hit it with my, and I got to manage to get it working. So it's like percussive engineering, hit it with something and then it'll go. But the part is now ordered, but it's going to need changing, which is painful. So I think if you know it's going to break before it's broken, you get it in and you avoid all of that.
Yeah.
Frustration and pain of having to wait for something to get fixed. So I need to try robo-taxi. I will feel brave enough and have a go. So the final two questions are a bit more fun, actually, Max. So obviously you're Italian, and we talked about, the best roads in Italy, but it may not, obviously you travel all over the world, you work for AWS globally. What would be your either best road trip recommendation or somewhere that you really want to go that you haven't been yet? In terms of destination or road trip?
Well, let's start with the
robo-taxi.
recommendation. I live in Torino, which is northwest. So, dear listeners, land in Torino, spend some time there. You have the cinema museum. You have a lot of good food, wine, the Barolo wine.
Nice.
Then you can go down. I would suggest a stop in Rio Maggiore in Cinque Terre.
Nice.
So, those small villages on the rocks, looking at the seaside, and then you go to classic places. Now, where I would really like to go, it's middle of nowhere, to cut off from technology and people and such and relax. And likely it's, I don't know, rainforest or similar, or again, an island in the ocean. So there are few places allowing that, but I think it's great to really, stop every technology interaction. Sometimes having the time to read a physical book and reflect and such, which again, I think it's useful for everyone. It's not related to Italy, but still.
Do you know, funny, my boys actually, they're of the age when they didn't always have mobile phones, but they know we have certain times where it's like there are no phones at the table, we have downtime and family time, and it's really important. But I do see younger kids, and it's really awful when you see them with devices at a really early age, and you think we just need children to be in nature, and we need to sometimes just detox from the devices. And actually, I think parts of Wales have no internet signal, I'm pretty sure. Go try, and it's beautiful. So listeners, I suppose anyone that can recommend a completely, internet-free area, you can go and detox.
That's why sailing is great.
Yes.
You can say, I don't have connectivity, right?
Can't connect in the middle of the ocean. Perfect. Good idea. Sailing, great. So were you near La Spezia? Is that where?
Yeah,
I know it. First time I went to Italy, we ended up in a place called Tellaro, which is this...
Tellaro.
And it was the Lonely Planet guide.
Yeah.
And we turned up in this place, and it just took our breath away.
Fiascherino, Porto Venere.
Oh my gosh, It was incredible. We had the car towed because we parked in the wrong place, didn't speak Italian well enough to know where not to park. It's like, okay, we had to go get it back. But it was still the most incredible holiday. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and you're right, it's stunning. So a final question is, and we are building a Drive Time podcast playlist on Spotify. So we're having a little road trip music soundtrack. So what would you listen to as you're driving through those beautiful hills around La Spezia and Tellaro?
I would say if my kids are with me, I will stick to their preferences.
Quiet life.
And during the weekend I will be in Dua Lipa Wembley concert. So this could be one of the playlists.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I guess you are familiar with Righeira, Vamos a la Playa and all that stuff. So one of the two singers is from Torino.
Nice.
So as a tribute to them, I would say Righeira, Vamos a la Playa.
Vamos
a la Playa.
A la Playa. Okay, I'll have to listen to this back and then write it down. Or Max, send me a link and I'll add it to the send me the link and I'll add it to the playlist. So that was great. So hopefully we can find you somewhere in Wales listening to Dua Lipa or Vamos a la Playa as you drive through with your internet, and then recommend the road from Torino up to the Cinque Terre and then some great wine regions.
Yeah.
I'll check it out when we're there in the summer. Max,
make sure you don't go in July and August because it's too hot.
We're going in August.
Okay.
Summer holidays. So, air conditioning and a pool. That's what we need. So, we'll have that.
That's okay.
Max Cavazzini, thank you so much for your Drive Time gear change fun outtakes. It's been really great spending time with you today.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. If you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to give us a like and a follow, and you'll never miss an episode again.